It's KGB Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. We only tell the truth. Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
To you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
To you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way. For this truth, they really hate me. I hit them like a safety. On my way to the mountaintop. Ain't no way they gon' stop me. When you live this life, you only get one shot. Time is running out, but you keep looking at the clock. But for me and my household, we're gonna be doers of the word. It's KGB Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. We only tell the truth. Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
To you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
To you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way.
Alrighty.
All right. Welcome to the KGB Live Show with your host, Brother Kabir. Hallelujah. We had a little bit of a hiccup there, guys. Hey, like we said, this is KGB Live Show, so it's not pre-scripted. We're literally dealing with live environments.
Thank
that
you.
makes sense.
Yes,
So,
thank you guys for your patience. If you are a saint, you know what it means to be patient. These are the patience of the saints, that they believe in Jesus and they keep the commandments. So anyway, I appreciate your guys' patience. I hope you guys enjoyed the new intro, the KGB Live
Show
theme song. So
Yes, sir.
by our brother Lorvitz.
Lorvitz from L&M Tracks.
Yeah.
You guys can look him up on Facebook. He's got some stuff on YouTube too. But yeah, shout out to brother Lorvitz from L&L Tracks. Appreciate you, brother. He's a brother who actually did a lot of the theme music too for Hebrews to Negroes movie for both movies, I believe. So shout out to him. And yeah, so but anyway, guys, we are back with another KGB Live Show. This is episode 22. Can you believe we've done 22?
22 of these things.
We're getting close to 50. We're going to have to do something special.
Wow,
for
we're going to have to do
episode
something.
50 or
Yes,
something
sir.
like that.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, guys, you guys know the drill. First, let's do a quick sound check. If you guys can hear us and see us clearly, please give us a 10 for the best and a 1 for the worst.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3. And we might be a little delayed due to new programs and also weather. So might be a little bit.
We got Brother Gideon.
Hey, shalom, Brother Gideon.
Brother Gideon,
I gotta
shalom.
get back to Brother Gideon.
Sis Tawana. Okay, we're getting 10.
We got 10. Hallelujah.
Sis Daria H. I don't know if I'm pronouncing her. Please, I mean, I know she's always there. So we got Bud. We got D Toppin.
We got 10s coming, and we got
10. We got all
I can't see the
10s. Brother
chat.
Gideon 10. Maureen 10.
Hallelujah.
We got Brother Jay. He got me Diaz. How you say it in Spanish?
What?
No, Diaz? No, I don't know. I think it means 10.
Yes? Oh,
Diaz, yes.
Diaz.
It's D-I-A-S-D. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, yes, sir. Hallelujah. Well, guys, welcome to the KGB Live Show. You guys see the title today. Will you submit or quit? That's the theme, and you guys will obviously find out here in a little bit what that means and where we're going to be going with that. But anyway, let me give you guys a quick announcements real quick. So obviously, you guys know, well, if some, maybe not obviously, but we had a special guest this past Shabbat.
Yes.
Those who were on Facebook knew who our special guest was. You want to let them know who it was, Brother Kabir?
Yes, it was. We had the great Pastor Charles Dow Jr. in the house.
Hallelujah, man!
So
that was
it was an honor to have him up here. And it was good. It was good to have him up here. It was a good time for him to be able to get some rest, and also to he gave us a word, a brief word, and just to spend time. But we really wanted just to give him an opportunity to just get away and just get some R&R.
Yeah,
and
it's needed. We need our pastors to rest.
Yes, exactly. We need our pastors to rest. So, and we got some good fellowship as well. So it was a good time here. Good time.
Yeah, bless you, Shepherd, if you're listening. If not, if you hear this later on, thank you so much for just your presence. So,
yes, sir.
Thank you
yes,
very
sir.
much, and for allowing us to serve our shepherd. So, hallelujah for that, guys. If you guys want to see the short, brief message that Pastor
We
did,
can put it
and I
up.
say short and brief because normally
it's like 2 hours.
exactly.
Yeah,
so this
was
was actually, I think it was more
30
than
minutes.
an hour.
Oh, it was an hour?
Like 40 minutes.
Okay, 40 minutes. Yes,
something like
sir.
that. I
Yes,
can't
sir.
remember exactly, but it was definitely no more past an hour.
Yes.
That's for sure. So you guys can go to Brother Kabir's Facebook page if you guys have him as a friend on there.
Yep.
It is public, so even if you don't have him as a friend,
You
I
can
believe
you should be able to see it.
on
Yes,
Facebook.
sir. I think we have over 1,000 views already.
Right, and we will be getting that up on YouTube soon, just to guys, so you guys can, if you guys did miss it or don't have Facebook and you only have YouTube, we will be getting that up. So do not fret. You guys will be able to watch it as well. Anyway, so if you guys did miss Shabbat service, we had a few things going on. We had Elder Rufus.
Yep.
He was doing a meeting with the Saints in Maryland, and he was doing a workshop there. So that is actually on Straightway Live channel on YouTube. So if you guys missed it, you can watch the actual workshop that he did and the Q&A that he did. The quality is a little on the low end, but just bear. I mean, we did the best we could with what we had, so please bear with us on that part. But we also had Teacher Shane give a message in Straightway, Tennessee HQ headquarters.
Yep.
So if you guys missed that, make sure you guys go to either Brother Daryl's Facebook page or YouTube page, or go to the Facebook page on Pastor Charles Dowell's Facebook page. He had it going on there too. So, yeah, a little bit going on this past Shabbat, quite a few things. But if you guys also missed Sister to Sister, make sure you guys go get caught up on that. Looks like they're doing a new format, which is kind of cool. They're doing more of a video live environment too, so that's kind of cool. So shout out to the sisters, Sister Ashley and Mother Carol, and the sisters that have been participating in that. So hallelujah for that.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything I'm missing, Brother Kabir?
I think you hit it all.
Hallelujah. Well, Brother Kabir, we are here once again. KGB Live Show.
You can read the chat too, right? You can see the
I'm
chat.
gonna switch here in a little
Okay.
bit, but so KGB Live Show, episode 22. Will you submit or quit?
Quit.
Tell the people real quick before we get into all the deep stuff.
All right, guys.
But tell them what that means to Straightway Praise Land, because that's something we use around here.
Yes, sir.
Submit or quit. So tell
So
them
anybody, all the people here at Straightway Praise Land, even the people that live around community, this is a community. This is one of the 9 communities of Straightway Truth Ministry in Tennessee, and we are under the authority of Pastor Dow, and so that's why it's called Straightway Praise Land. Now we are located in the near the Green Bay, Wisconsin area.
Right.
So we're a little bit outside of Green Bay, but we're, you can pretty much say it's Green Bay. So
That's the closest.
That's the closest city, very close.
I must say this. I know.
Yeah.
I gotta say it.
Yes.
I was in Chicago this past week. Green Bay is not a city.
No, we are not in
it's
the
a big
city.
village.
Exactly,
Let's go with that.
we're in the big village. Yeah,
But,
so
I mean, it is a city. I get it, but
Yes.
it's
Not Green Bay
Chicago is
that's a
whole
city.
nother
That's a whole
man.
nother
That
level.
thing.
Can you imagine chaos break out there? The
Ooh,
people,
man.
just to
Yeah.
live there, it's hard. Can you
Man.
imagine if chaos break? Ooh.
Yeah, I hope y'all has mercy on them.
Yes,
At least
sir.
the righteous are there.
Yes,
I hope
sir.
He lets them leave. At
Yes,
least
sir.
before
So we are located in obviously outside of Green Bay. That's our location, a little bit outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin. So Straightway Praise Land. We have a saying here, and it's a theme, and everybody knows. You either submit or quit. We do not allow for you to be in the middle. Either you're hot or you cold. Either you're what you call it, hot or cold. If you're black or white, it's there is no gray here at Straightway Praise Land. So,
Yes, sir.
and that's how we run it. And And so one of the things is, you see a lot of these people, and obviously this is nothing new. This has been going on, obviously, in Israel since during the times of Abraham, during the times of, they've always been had a tribal mindset.
Yes, sir.
And they've always had people rule. They always had you always had a head of the tribe, and you had. If it wasn't a king, it was a priest. If it wasn't a priest, it was somebody like a Moses or a King David or King Saul. And then within that, you always had some type of chiefs or captains or rulers over the few, maybe over 1,000, maybe over 100, maybe over tens. But Israel was always meant to be in a tribal environment. This is not, and so we have a lot of these people, just because we live in America where it's a democracy or a republic, whatever they want to call it. But democracy is, the masses gets to choose. A republic, the law kind of trumps that. So you have the rule of law and things of that nature, but usually a consensus of people. You have people in this country doing community or commune living, and
it's really nothing new. When you think about the pilgrims,
the pilgrims. You got the.
I think it's safe to say that almost every single society
started
as a tribal format. It's really
even when they came off the Mayflower, which I got this thing here, but even when they came there, they had a compact. This is the laws, the statutes that we're going to live by.
Which is so funny to think that it's such a taboo today, right? Where people is like, well, that sounds cultish.
Yes.
It's like, well, if that's the case, then this country was accepted in a cult.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, sir.
When you think about the definition of what a cult might be. Anyway, Brother Kabir, I don't want to take too much of your time, but I did want to just slightly quickly touch before, because I know we're going to get into it real quick here. But let the people know, Brother Kabir, how was your time on Brother Israel, Michael Israel's
my goodness.
Show, Spiritual Combat? You were there.
Yes, sir.
I feel like if we didn't stop it, you'd probably still be going.
Yeah, I know.
Right
guys, that is the side effect of the Holy Spirit plus bang. Okay, but no, that was just an anointing that the Most High just put on me through the Holy Spirit, and so and it was a great, it was a lot of need to be said. Sometimes we had to make some rebuke and reprove and correct some of the comments on that show, but it was a great show. I even listened to it again, and I learned something from it.
I will say I think I learned something from you.
Yes.
Watching this.
Yes, sir. What'd you learn?
I think that I found out that my brothers are very good when it comes to making spirits manifest.
Exactly.
Because that chat was lit up.
Yeah, it was lit up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You were on fire, brother.
And so if people are going to, but we are called to provoke.
Yeah.
And so this is, and this topic we're talking about, even though it's called Submit or Quit, which is a theme that's at Straightway Praiseland, it's all about community. This is about, we're still on the theme of community living. And so I'm going to break down, biblically speaking, community. This is something that Pastor Dow has been doing for over 20 plus years. This is something that the churches, when he was in Christianity, made fun of him, made comments that you just want somebody to take care of you. And Pastor Dow has been able in our lifetime, in this generation has been a shining example of what community looks like. And so I wouldn't be doing community. I'm doing it because of the example that I saw in Pastor Dow, seeing what they're doing down in Tennessee, what they're doing there and what it's become, to see the history, to see all the other communities, and I'm still going to try to make my way to get to the community. But what I want to do is, one of the things that I notice a lot of people, especially with obviously being associated with Straightway Truth, with Pastor Dow Jr., is that people always say, well, Kabir, man, you can listen to Pastor Dow, but don't follow him, man. Just be your own man. You don't need to, be, underneath him or follow him. And this, guys, Israel was never meant to be an island in itself. We were always meant to be a part of a tribe. Okay, guys? We were always supposed to be one. We had one Elohim, right? One Elohim. And And he's in one and obviously one nation, and within that nation there was 12 tribes, which still acted as one accord, one soul, one heartbeat. And we see this in Acts chapter 2 and see that in Acts chapter 4.
I think it goes to the effect, even though there were two different kingdoms at the time, and obviously we know that Yah is going to come back and bring it all under one. One king, right? Yeah. But they all share the same husband.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir. One husband.
And that's the oneness that they did share.
Mm-hmm. And a whole bunch of brides, right? So because in his house there's many, and there's many mansions or many houses.
I don't know if we'll touch on that,
but
we can go there all day. Right?
But anyway, so I want to really make this go into the word here and just show you biblically, line upon line, precept upon precept, to show you that this is something that even when they had a king, it's still, okay, maybe they rejected Yah as the king. You know, you remember the time of Samuel where they were saying, Samuel, you're getting too old. Your children are not following Yah. Right. We want a king like other nations. Isn't that interesting? We want to be like other nations. I remember when I was in Christianity and how I was part of a school board called, obviously, Ron Young. I got to bring him up at Providence. And I was on school board. And I remember we would always be competing with women who would come in and make complaints about, well, this is how the public school does it. Or this is how, I'm like, we're not the public school. We're supposed to be the church, right? We're supposed to be the assembly.
That's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's irrelevant how they run, Well, how come you don't have women on the board? Well, there's no women on the board because women are not supposed to be leading, And so you had these pushback where the women were trying to control. So end up, I hate to say, but they just had a lot of men that were heads, but the women were truly the necks controlling that board. So it looked like it was a patriarch, but it was really a matriarch. Well, but they were all covert, egalitarian. But it wasn't even egalitarian.
We've broken that up before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, So even in Christianity, it's very matriarch, but it's covert. And I was in a situation, I was covert. I felt like I was leading. I thought I was leading. But the whole time, you had a whole bunch of people on that board where they were really being controlled by the women on there. So, and one of the requirements, your wife had to be happy, believe it or not. They asked your wife, how's your husband? And if she said he's doing a good job, then the husband was allowed to be on the board. Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
So the husband value came from the woman in Christianity, and it shouldn't be.
Wait. I got to stop you there.
Is God good based off of what we think? No, God is good regardless of what we think.
I think that just flew over people's head.
Yes.
Can you please repeat that? You said what? In order for the men to be on the
school board, the women had to testify that the husband was a good husband, he was a good leader.
Are you serious?
I kid you not. So so in Christianity, I know what the heck. You can even say what the. Yeah. I'll stop right there. You're right, Sister Lena. But anyway, but yeah. So that was Christianity. And that's how Christianity operates. It's truly a matriarch. They may say it's equal, but it's just another covert way of saying that the women is the head, right. And so the women gave the men value, and not the other way. It'll be like us saying that God has his value based on what we think of him. God is only good if we say, okay, God, you're a good God. Now we like you. No. He determines our value. We're going to be judged according to his laws, his statutes, his precepts.
In your level of professionalism,
yes.
You hit the highest level of professional football, right?
You got Jenny Titus.
At any point, did anybody from GM or anybody from general management, or even I guess the Green Bay Packers were owned by the people, right?
Yes.
But anybody in that high level of ranking, did they ever come to you and to ask you how your position coach is doing?
When I played
or the coordinator was doing?
We got Jenny Titus on the thing, so you're gonna like my answer here because I'm talking about football, not all of it, but I'm gonna give a football.
We are talking about football. Maybe not the way that you
not
want
the way,
to.
but we're gonna be talking. But during my times with the Green Bay Packers, never ever did we ever have any survey. We never did a survey. We have never did any type of. They never got our opinion of how the head coach was doing. That was not. I mean, we just never did that. Our value came in what the coach thought about the players. But the coaches was graded based off of performance, but it was based off that was between the GM and the head coach. That's not, and in the coaches, we never valued if a coach was this or that. They never even asked us. It didn't matter. All that mattered was that we were doing our part. Right. And so, guys, I want to use my football background because if you guys don't know this, I used to be a business major, and one of my major was business management, and we had this thing called a flow chart. Now, not everybody knows what a flow chart is, so I look at. I'm going to do something here that's like football, like X's and O's. So I got me here a whiteboard, and if you guys can see, that is a flow chart. And in this flow chart, you can see that we have a head coach, then you have the OC, which is the offensive coordinator, then you have the defensive coordinator, and then you have the special team coordinator. You can see that, right? And then underneath that, you see that we have coaches, position coaches, at the next tier of management. And then under the coaches, you see, and I didn't do all of them, but you see P for players. And so that is the chain of command for a professional football team. So you have 54 players, and you have several position coaches, because each position had coaches, and then you had coordinators for offense, defense, and special team, and then you had the head coach. And above the head coach is a whole nother thing. You have the GM, which is usually for the Green Bay Packers. He was the VP. And then he answered to the president, and in most organization, the president was the owner of the team. But I played for a team that was owned by the public, by the people in the city of Green Bay, or whoever owned shares or whatever. So, but they answered to the CEO, and the CEO answered to a board. But I'm trying to show you that there is a hierarchy. Now, the reason why, in that world, no one has a problem with that. Everybody understand that this is how a football organization operates. No one ever complains, well, how come you have these people ruling over? Matter of fact, the fans demand that they put coaches and to put pressure on these guys to go out there and win a Super Bowl, right? To bring home the Vince Lombardi. So anyway, but you know what's so amazing about a football team? It's like a perfect laboratory, because every football team, every year, right now is August. Right now you have over 30-something plus teams in the NFL in training camp. Right now, they're right now getting ready for the season. And they've been prepping up, leading up into the season. And every 30-something plus teams, their whole goal is to win the Super Bowl. That's the whole goal. But only one will win. 2 will make it to the Super Bowl, and out of that 2, only 1 will make it to the Super Bowl. And when a team wins, it is so exciting because so much is involved in that team winning. You not only just have the players, but you have equipment managers. You have the trainers who helps the players. You have the people in the kitchen helping to make sure that the players are fed. You got so many. I'm just showing you just the basics of what gets to the players. But even within that, there's an organization. And there's no way that could work if it operated as a democracy where everybody gets to vote and do all this stuff. I mean, you got everything coming down, and the people at the very bottom, which are the players, and the players have people like trainers. But at the end of the day, it's all about winning games. Everything from how they travel, where they stay at for hotels, everything, all the stuff is all led to get them to the Super Bowl. Well, guess what, guys? We also, if we, the people of light, can take from that. But it's all in the Bible too. If we can also do the same thing to get to the kingdom for us, we're going for a crown that will not perish. The crown that these 30-some teams are going for will perish. Right. It will not last. But how does a football team, and out of the best team that's going to win the Super Bowl is the one who can put it all together and play as one team, one fist. We always say in team, there is no I in team. There's no I in team. Everybody knows that the guy next, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So when you come into the faith, everybody wants to do their own thing. Well, I don't need anybody to tell me what to do. I'll come in, check in, do out. I don't need to answer to anybody. But in community, to have a successful community like Pastor Dow, you cannot have that mentality. You come in and everyone, I'm talking about everyone. What did I say? Everyone is a servant. And the greatest servant is the one who serves, right? And so I can tell you right now, I am the head of community. If I was to do this flow chart, there's a flow chart. You have Pastor Dow in Tennessee. He's the head of all of the communities. And then Pastor Dow goes around and when a community or when people who've been together for a while wants to do community, Pastor Dow will choose able men to lead those communities, right? And sometimes it just kind of happened to develop. But Pastor Dow, in my case, I was chosen to lead Straightway Praise Land. And the way it was set up, it says Kabir is the head of the community. Brother David, who's the guy behind the camera, he's the guy. He's gonna be second in command, and we just run it. And we run this as a minor. So even within Straightway Praise Land, we have a flow chart. You have me as the head, then you have David as second in command, and then we even have little lieutenants, or first we call them further. We got little lieutenants that's in charge of different departments of our community. Because I can only do so much too. And so we try to run a tight ship here. Even with Pastor Dow coming here, it was an honor to have him. Everybody knew, hey, we have Pastor Dow. He's the admiral. I mean, we call him, he's the admiral, and he's coming, the chief shepherd. And we wanted to make sure that he had an enjoyable time, and just make sure that we present ourselves. So because and then he laughed. He says, "You guys are doing a good job," and that's what we want to hear. Our value of knowing how well we're doing is that he feels confident in how we run up here, how we eat, how we pray, how we worship. He got to see our whole step. It was kind of cool that Pastor Dow got to see how we do things every Shabbat. And so we were really honored to have him. But anyway, let me get to the word. Are we having any comments here or anything?
It seems like a story with Praise and turned into Air Force One once Pastor
Oh
Dow
yeah,
came.
when Pastor Dow came here, it became Air Force One because we had the commander-in-chief when it comes to this walk here. So, but like I said, and now people say, why you give so much honor to Pastor Dow? Why do you, it's like you're worshiping him. Guys, the Bible makes it clear, give honor where honor is due. We should be giving double honors. But I want to show you guys this. Right now, I'm giving you what I have gleaned from my reading, but I want to show you scriptures of line upon line, precept upon precept. So I'm going to take it to the Old Testament, and then I'm going to work through the Old Testament, and we're going to go all the way into the New Testament because we know what it says in Acts. So before I start the Old Testament, let me start off with Acts chapter 2. Can you pull up Acts chapter 4, and let me read what it says here in Acts chapter 2, verse 43. And guys, we got this new technology, so in the future, we're going to be able to put scriptures while I'm talking here and things of that nature. So there's going to be some cool stuff that Brother David got going on here just to make this even more enjoyable. Could you please speak on that? Okay. Okay. But anyway, I'll get to that, Jenny. That's a good question. But anyway, let me get that. So here it's Acts chapter 2, verse 43. It says, "And fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done by the apostles, and all that believed were together and had all things common, and sold their possession and goods, and parted them to all men as every man had need." This has happened, I can say, and the beauty about being a part of this ministry, we actually experience what we read in this book. We actually experience it. And they continue daily with one accord, not two, not three, one accord, one mindset in the temple, and breaking of bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness. This is the type of stuff that these 32 teams wish that every team can do, is to be one accord. Singleness of heart.
Come on.
Praising God and having favor with all the people, and the Lord added to the church daily as such be saved. Right?
Yes, sir.
So that's it. Read Acts 4.
32.
Yes, starting at 32.
"And the multitude of them that believed were of one heart."
One heart. Listen, guys, not two hearts, not three hearts. One heart. I know what it's like to be a part of an organization or a team. I played football most of my life since I was 11. And the only way you succeed every time we won is when we all put it together and we were about the team. Not about self. We were about the team. It didn't matter where you were in the pecking order. At the end of the day, it was all about achieving the goal, winning games, and winning games after games, which leads to playoff. Playoff wins lead to the championship, and championship leads to winning the Super Bowl or winning things. So anyway, keep reading. One heart.
"And of one soul.
And one soul." Keep reading.
"Neither said any of them that aught of the things which he possessed was his own, But they had all things common.
All things common. When you're on the team, we have all things common. We dress the same. We got our uniform, same shower, same place, everything. We go to everything we do. That's how organization works. How much more should it work for the people of Yah? Keep reading.
And with great power gave the apostle witness of the resurrection of the Master Yeshua, and great grace was upon them all. Neither was there any among them that lacked.
Do you lack anything at Straightway Praise Land?
No, sir.
There's
not at
no
all.
lack here, people. No lack. We all our needs are met. Keep reading.
For as many as were possessors of lands or houses sold them.
Hey, I'm a possessor of a house. I didn't necessarily get to sell them, but I'm using it for the community, right? When you say?
Yes,
You guys-
sir.
okay.
Yep. And brought the prices of the things that were sold and laid them down at the apostles' feet.
We have a brother here, literally, when he came from where he came from, he literally sold everything he had. This guy sold everything he had and gave me all of his money. Gave me all the money, everything he got, gave it to me and said, it's yours. He literally laid it at my feet. I can relate to this. This is not something you just read about and say, I wonder what's that like. I actually can say I experienced what it's like having somebody who sold everything and laying it at my feet. He gave me gold, silver, money, cash. And he gave it to me. I took it, boom. And now I'm responsible for this guy. This is a huge responsibility. This man has family. He has a wife, children. And now he said, I'm here to submit to the order here. We had a sister come here and says, I'm here to assimilate. I'm thinking like, okay, what did they do over there? She said, it doesn't matter what community that came from. I'm at this community and I know I've been here for long, but I'm here to assimilate to whatever it is that you have for this community. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
All of the people done that.
Let me ask you this, brother,
Yeah.
Kabir, because I think people would be interested in this too. For that example, what you gave of that brother giving everything, right, and laying at your feet, what does that do to you? Does that put you at a greater level of fear of Yah and a greater level of accountability, or does that make you feel like, I can do whatever I want? What does that do to you?
It is a humbling experience when you have people who are serious about this walk, who's willing to do what this book says, and take the words off this page and actually manifest it in real life, in their life. And then put that responsibility, it puts the fear of Yah on me. See, when I had my wife and my children, it was just me. That was something I produced. You got a man who's responsible for a woman and children. Even Brother David, he has a wife and child. And so when I see this stuff, man, and I'm responsible, it takes it to a whole nother level than it was for my own natural family.
Dang.
I put community before I put anything for myself, because I'm going to be held accountable, and I'm going to talk about this. You're going to see in Scripture how community has all. You can call it community. That's what we call it today. What they have common and common unity. Common unity is where community comes from. But when you look at this, you can see Israel's always was supposed to have people ruling over them or having captains or chiefs and stuff. I'm not making this thing up. And so all I'm showing you is what the Bible says, and what I'm experiencing and showing you about it. It makes sense. Why? There's the one. But so to answer your question, it created a great fear in me.
Yes, sir.
Go.
Yes, sir. I touch and agree. Here we go. Verse 34, continuing. For as many as we read that part. 35, and laid them down at the apostles' feet, and distribution was made unto every man according as he had need.
This is not something that I give to everybody equal. Like, okay, well, because this, I'm going to give everybody 10, 10, 10. No. Brother David has certain needs that another family would have. The single brothers have a need. And so I give to everybody what they need. Mm-hmm. And they ask. They come here, I need this or need that. Some people get allowance because of how because they work. So I give them a part of their paycheck, just to encourage them to continue bringing in more. The more you bring in, the more you can have a part of that portion, because I give a percentage. They give up pretty much the way we do. They give us 90%. I tell them keep 10%.
And that's a good point. Elder Brecker just put in the chat, need, not want.
Not want, yes.
Because this actually, this does to me.
Yes.
And I'm going to speak on the end of those who are submitted to the rulership, right? It literally makes you, when you have to ask somebody for something that you want, quote unquote want, it literally makes a difference between your wants and your needs.
Needs, oh yes.
Because when you're in the world living by yourself, you'll buy the dumbest crap, for the lack of a better word, right? But when you have to go and humble yourself to say, hey, I would like to have this, you really consider it. It's not as easy just to swipe that card or give that money away. It's literally a thought that takes and it puts you in a position to really consider, do I need this or do I want this? I'm just speaking from that aspect.
And I can even talk from an aspect, even from it. I mean, can I buy what I want? It makes me think, and I'm the head of this.
Everybody's watching.
Everybody's watching, and so I can't just like, man, you got this stuff. I'm like, so everybody's being held accountable here. Everybody can, and so if I want it for me, it's gonna be for all the community, right?
And I would go as far as to say is this, and I can tell by obviously the level that Pastor in his transparency, but I would even go as far as to say that those who are in the position that you're in, of heads of community, heads of assembly, unfortunately, or however you want to see it, you have less privacy than those who are part of the community, I would say, because there's more eyes on you.
Yep.
Nobody cares about.
But
nobody cares about. But everybody's held to a level of accountability. But I believe that in your position, first of all, I don't envy it.
Yeah.
Because the pressure, and because I've been there too. Before we came here, being quote unquote community leader for the small community that I had, but just seeing how you handle that level of transparency and how faithful you are is encouraging, and then it encourages others. But I know for you, you watch that in you to actually be a leader, not by word, but by example. So anyway, I just want to say that because,
and I'm coming from a celebrity, wealthy man perspective, and I can afford my own privacy. I can literally do all this stuff without. Now I'm thankful for community, but somebody like me in the world do not want this. They don't want people in their business. They want to be able to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it. And even my new Ishaya, my new woman, she even says like, man, you're the head of community. Now she's been a part of Straightway longer than me, 4 years, but she even recognized that being my wife is actually now put in a position that our eyes are going to be on her, as opposed to just being in community or just everybody's looking at this guy, like you said. So that's what I'm saying. The accountability is high, and I love it. I love the accountability because it makes my walk that much greater. And so I remember when I first came into this, the thing, people said, well, does Pastor Dow show the financial books, or how do we know where the money is going, or whatever? Like, because in Christianity, they have this thing called the financial thing where, they have to open their books and make sure. But guess what? They're doing it. These people are the one that's fleecing you. And they're supposed to have an open book policy, and they're fleecing people. And it doesn't even go to the people. With Pastor Dow, you can see where it's going. People are benefiting from the fruit of what's happening at Straightway Truths.
And I would go as far as to say that because these people are part of a 501c charter contract with the government, it's almost like the government actually helps them and helps cover up whatever they're fleecing. Obviously you get certain things where in the news, but do these people really get in trouble? When's the last time we've seen a mega preacher literally
they don't
get in trouble and everything be taken away? You don't.
And so let me go. So as I go through this stuff, so I want to just show you guys just scripturally on how this thing operates. So guys, take your notes, write it down. So maybe you already know this, but hey, let's take notes here. So let's start in Deuteronomy. I'm going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 1. Verse 8. So I'm going to start there. Okay, let me use my... And then you can go to Exodus chapter 18. But I'm going to start off in Deuteronomy here. Yes, I'm glad I have this here because I'm trying to look at the chat room. So usually I can flip through this thing.
I'm on the chat too.
Okay. So, you don't have... Okay.
No, I'm
okay, so you can see. So Deuteronomy chapter 8. Okay. This is chapter 8, verse 8. Verse 8. Okay, I'm going to start reading here. It says, and the land of wheat, of barley. Is this right? Yep. Okay, no, sorry. Chapter 1. I was looking at chapter 8. I'm like, what the heck am I reading here, guys? Hey, it's a live show.
Live show.
So you guys are going to get it. You guys are going to get it all here. There's nothing edited here. Okay. Right here. It says, okay, behold, this is Yah talking to Moses. He says, behold, I have set the land before you. And guys, whatever I'm reading, please go before and behind it. Check my work. But I'm just going to get to it for the sake of time. Behold, he says, I have set a land before you, and go in and possess the land which the Lord sware unto the fathers Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, to give unto them and to their seed after them. And I spake unto you that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone. This is Moses, guys. I'm telling you, even within straightway praise, I don't even know what Pastor Dow has to deal with, but just my little world here called Straightway Praise Land, I can't bear this by myself. So that's why I have to, Pastor Dow gave me David, but then even within that, I had to kind of anoint or delegate my authority and say, okay, you take care of the house. You more here. So when me and Brother David leave, somebody else take it. We got Brother Freddie, who's next in line. And Brother Freddie goes out, then it goes with us. Then we got Brother Jordan. So I have people in line that people, and everybody knows the pecking order, And so even within my little world, I'm going to have people to delegate stuff, even though it's small. And that's what Pastor Dow is doing on a larger level, but he has that as, you guys see Elder Becker on here. Elder Becker is one of the chief elders, and he's on Straightway Truths. So even within Straightway Tennessee, they have their pecking order and their little chart, their flow chart. And so that's what you need to run anything. And so it just makes sense to do that. But let me keep reading here. So anyway, it says, he can't do this himself. Verse 10, the Lord your God had multiplied you, and behold, you are this day as the stars of heavens in multitude. He says, the Lord God of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you as he had promised you. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance and your burden and your strife? And so this is what it says, take you wise men, right? And understanding and known among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you, right? Come on. And ye answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do. So I took. So who took? There was no voting. Let's vote to see who's popular, who's cool, who got more. Man, Moses picked. Guess who picked me? Pastor Dow picked me. I wasn't voted in this position. I was chosen by Pastor Dow to lead this team or this community here in Wisconsin.
Exactly.
So he says, so I took, not God. This is, okay. He says, okay. So I took, this is Moses talking, the chief of your tribes, wise men, and known, and made them heads over you, captains over 1,000. Captains over 100, captains over 50s, captains over 10s, and officers among your tribes. Did we just not talk about that? Verse 16, and I charge your judges at the time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man his brother and the stranger that is with him. And ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. And I command you at that time all things which ye shall do. Same thing. Pastor Dow does not micromanage.
He doesn't.
The judgment, so that submit and quit is not a whole thing that Straightway does. Right. That is just what we do here. Now, it may be a form of that, but that's something that I came up for my community, right? I came up for that for my community at Straightway Praise Land. And in here, we have to judge the people. We have to come up with how, and if there's things that's over our head, then we can now go into the next level. And in this case, I go to Pastor Dow or an elder or whoever's over me. In this case, it's Pastor Dow. So I go to him, and he gives me wisdom on how to delegate or how to do it. And so we have that structure in here, and it's safe. It's safe. Can they hear me? Is Gabriel hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, he doesn't have to. Okay. So that's in Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 8 to 18. So they put rulers, captains, officers. And so this is the breakdown. So Israel was always together. It wasn't everybody in their own little house doing their own little things and just doing their own things. And even within here, we have husbands who have families. They are the head of their house. I don't tell another man, wife, what to do except what's pertaining to community. Am I right?
Right.
I mean, you're right. So they still have their own house, but they all are submitted. We all are submitted to somebody, even Pastor Dow. And I'm using this example because it's happening now. This is the only community I know that's doing it biblically.
Right. And I would even go just as an example, as a witness too. You don't have brothers in community just talking to other men's wives without first asking permission from their husband. I don't know how many times you've asked me. It almost gets annoying where I have to say, "Hey, brother, if you need to talk to my wife about community stuff, just go ahead." Because I don't have. If I'm not around, I mean, you know what I mean. Because I got a job to do myself. So
Yes, sir.
I just want to make that as a witness too. That and same thing goes for me. I would never talk to another man's wife about anything unless I get the husband's permission, or I'll just go directly to the husband. I don't need to talk to the
Yes,
wives.
sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And so I hope this is a stimulating thought for you guys and thinks. So here's the other one. So Exodus 18, you can go pull up Numbers. I'm going to read Exodus 18, 14, 23.
Numbers what?
And go to Numbers chapter 11, verse 16. Okay. So in Exodus chapter 18, verse 14. Okay, guys? Now I know we started late here. I hope you guys stay with me, but this is going to be some good stuff. So Exodus, and that's why the devil was trying to slow us down with this thunderstorm, but we got it. So anyway, starting at 14, Exodus chapter 18, verse 14. And I'm going to read all the way to 26. And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, "What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone? And all the people stand by thee from morning unto evening." And Moses said unto his father-in-law, "Because the people come unto me inquiring of Yah. And when they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of Yah and his laws." And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, "The thing that thou doest is not good." But guys, this is just normal. Make this common sense. I guess I don't know what's common. It's not good. You got to be able to delegate. You got to have people ruling. Everybody doing their own thing. You can't have you're never going to be one.
Exactly.
You got to. So still, even though Moses delegated, but it still went back to Moses, but it went back to the law of Yah. When you come to Straightway Praise Land, when you go to any of the Straightway communities, we don't live according to the law of the land. We live according to the law of Yah. The law of Yah supersedes the law of the land. Do you guys hear me? And so the women in Straightway Praise Land don't act like the women in the world. It's totally different. When you come in, and even when people come in, they can clearly see that it's a different. You are in the kingdom. You just get a little piece of the kingdom here on earth.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, let me keep reading. It's not good from to do so. It says, "Thou wilt surely wear away, but both thou and this people that is with thee, for this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone. Hearken now unto my voice, and I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee, and be thou for the people to Godward, that thou mayest bring the cause unto God." Just the other day, as I read this, somebody asked on the show for he just showed up, Spiritual Combat, Shalom, brother Michael. But on that show, they said, "Is Pastor Dow above correction?" Above correction. Isn't that crazy? This brother just showed up. Brother Michael just showed up, and I didn't even see that. I just saw it right now. But they say he's above correction. Well, look at this. Was Moses above correction? Jethro, his father-in-law, is talking to Moses, a servant of the Most High, and correcting him, saying, "Man, dude, what you're doing is not good." And Moses actually says, "You know something, this makes he took his counsel." And then he ended up picking. I'm going to keep reading, but I just want to let you know, if Moses wasn't above correction, Pastor Dow's not above correction. And Pastor Dow said it himself, no man on the planet Earth is above correction. He even said he's like,
that's a
nonsensical question. So I just want to show you, even Moses wasn't above correction. But let me calm down here. Okay.
I think
the bang is kicking in. The Holy Spirit, I don't know. So anyway, okay. So, "And thou shalt teach them ordinance and the laws, and thou shalt show them
way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. Moreover, thou shalt provide out of the people able men. When you look up able men, when you look that up, H2428, you see it had to do with wealth. It had to do with a person's knowledge, skills. But so who chose these people? Moses chose able men. So when I look at my situation, I didn't even think I was worthy of this position. I just wanted to do community. And Pastor Dow says, you're going to be the guy that had a community. I didn't say, hey, Pastor Dow, I want to do community and I need to be the man in charge. Am I making this thing up?
No, sir.
Did I say that if I do community, I need to be the head?
No,
I didn't even know what
never.
it was going to look like. I just thought
nobody knew.
And no one knew. We just had a meeting. He says, okay, Kabir's in charge. I'm like, whoa. And I'm the Ricky. I'm looking at these guys. Brother David, how long you been in the ministry? How long you been with Straightway?
Coming on 4 years.
He's coming on 4 years. I'm just coming on 2 years. And we've been doing this for over a year now. Over a year.
We've been fellowshipping for 2 years.
2 years. We've been fellowshipping for 2 years.
But community living
just over a year. So I didn't know, but now I know why Pastor chose me. He saw, okay, this is a man who's established himself in the world. He's a man of wealth. He's a man of knowledge. You can see that he could tell that I'm a responsible man, and that the things that he could see made him say, you will do well in managing these people. So that's why I was picked. Because he can see that I was able, and from a worldly perspective, but he saw that I had a heart for Yah, and that also that I wanted to keep this commandment. I wanted to live this stuff out. And so Pastor Dow, you can ask him why he picked me, but I'm thinking I'm using the word here. Where am I here? Okay, I lost my track here. Hold on. He says right here. He says, and thou shalt teach him. He says, moreover, thou shalt provide all the people. Hold on. Okay, verse 21. Moreover, thou shalt provide out all the people able men, such as fears God. Okay, I know I fear Yah. I had that dream, man. That put the fear. So I fear Yah. Men of truth. I tell the truth. So you can see that. Hating covetousness. I don't covet anybody. I don't even covet Pastor Dow in his position. I'm honored with the role that he's given me, and I'm going to be faithful to it. I'm comfortable being brothers. I can't tell you how many people, even before he told me that, says, man, Kabir, why don't you just do your own community, do your own thing. Don't follow Pastor Dow. I can't tell you how many people tell Kabir, you got your own name. Stop being following Pastor Dow. Just do your own thing. People will follow you. I said, bro, no. Even when people go on my YouTube channel, I can't tell you how many times you'll see me pointing them right back to 615, sending them the number at the dining hall to get a hold of Elder Becker. That's what I tell them. Get a hold of them. I will send them back there. And then from there, Elder Becker will give me a call, get the information to us, and then we will reach out to whoever it is. This is not, you don't come straight here. We will say, hey, make yourself known to the Straightway Truth Ministry. This is called Straightway Praise Land. This is not Praise Land. This is not Kabir's World. This is Straightway Praise Land. And we're trying to make sure we stay under the authority that Yah has. He brought me here to Straightway. So I'm clearly... You can call me a company's man. I'm a company's man, which was considered bad amongst the players. But I'm a company's man. I'm very comfortable. Anyway, hating covetousness, place such over them to be rulers, or chief, if you look behind the word, of 1,000, rulers of 100, rulers of 50s, rulers of 10s. And let them judge the people at all seasons, and it shall be that every great matter that they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge, so shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee. Is that it? Oh, let me keep reading here. With thee. And if thou shalt do this thing, God command thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure. And all those people shall also go to their place in peace. So Moses hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law. Moses chose, wasn't voted in, wasn't a democracy. We like this guy. We think he's cool, he's eloquent, or people appoint. A lot of these camps and a lot of these people are self-appointed. I was not appointed. I was not self-appointed. I was picked by Pastor Dow. So anyway, and Moses chose able men out of all of Israel and had made heads over the people, rulers over 1,000, rulers over 100, rulers over 50s, rulers over 10s, and they judge And they judged the people all season, and hard causes they brought unto Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves. And that is how we operate. The same way our forefathers did it. And I'm not talking about the Christian church fathers, but Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. They even had it too. Even before Moses, they had tribes. It was always in the tribe. So anyway, go to Numbers. Read Numbers chapter 11, verse 16 and 17.
Yes, sir.
You got that?
16 and 17?
Yes, verse 16 and 17.
All right, Numbers 11, verse 16. And the master said unto Moses, Gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the Spirit which is upon thee, and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone.
So guys, once again, you can see, they kept choosing able people to lead the people. We were never meant to be in silos and doing our own thing. You got some women said, well, I don't need a man to tell me. I submit to Jesus. Or you got men saying that, oh, like I was talking to another brother that came and checked us out, right? I said, so, hey, are you part of fellowship? Yeah. I said, who
you fellowship
well,
with?
you fellowship? He said, Jesus. So you're by yourself. It's just you and your family, and you got Jesus you submitted to. You're full of shit. Okay? I mean, he's not submitting to anybody. There's no one that can keep him accountable. This is a guy that was a part of this ministry. This is a guy that was a part of our fellowship and left because he did not want to submit.
Come on, bro.
He wanted to do his own thing. He's one of the people that told me to leave. He said, I'm not leaving you. I'm leaving Pastor Dow because I don't agree with him.
Okay.
Guys, if I was to listen to the hearts of the people, there's a good chance that even people here at Praiseland, Straightway Praiseland, don't agree with everything that I want to do. But guess what? They do it.
You know, it's funny if in comparison, if you make an example like this, could you say, I'm not leaving the Packers, I'm just leaving the head coach?
Yeah.
Wait, you're leaving the team, though.
If you leave the head coach,
if you leave the team,
you're leaving the team. Period.
You leave the whole thing.
We're one. We're not doing it. See, that now you become divisive. Division. Do you guys see that? So this is how Israel was supposed to. This is even before they had a king.
Come on, bro.
I'm trying to show. This is before kingship. And then, so let's keep reading. So I'm gonna go to Numbers chapter. Deuteronomy.
Numbers, yep.
Okay, let me do and go to
Ephesians.
Ephesians
Yep,
chapter 4. I'm gonna go to Numbers 16. Okay. No, actually, before that, I'm gonna go somewhere else here. Hold on. I'm gonna go to first. You go to. Yeah, go to Ephesians. I want to go to 1 Samuel. But Deuteronomy 16:18 says this. It says, hold on. Guys, forgive me here because, I'm trying to watch your guys' chat here. It says, judges, officers shall thou make thee in all thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee throughout thy tribes. I told you, tribe. We got to be tribal-minded people, tribes, right? It says, in thy gates and tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment. That's why we have commandments, statutes, precepts. These are the stuff that he's given us to be able to rule. That's how come I can rule. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. Yah's already given us his laws, his precepts, his commandments.
Come on.
That's what I rule. And then anything that the commandment doesn't say, that's what I do. But am I supposed to, and we're going to get in there about abusing your authority. You can abuse your authority. You can. And people do that. Not anyone I know in Straightway, and they will be dealt with.
Yes, sir.
But let me go to 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 8. I want to show you something. This is when the people rejected Yah's thing. And you can even see Yah's heart and how he wanted things to be ran. Right? Everybody say, what was Yah's original intent? Okay. I mean, when it comes to polygyny, but that's a whole nother stuff here. But go to 1 Samuel chapter 8, verse 19. Go to verse 19, and this is what it says here. It says, nevertheless, the people refused to obey the voice of Samuel. Samuel was the chief at that time. He was like the Moses of that day.
Yeah.
He was in charge. And he was the priest of that time, and everything and he had his own things. But look what this says. This says, nevertheless, the people, now they're acting like a democracy, like these American peoples, to obey the voice of Samuel. And they said, nay, but we will have a king over us. Now listen to this. This is the same thing I experienced when I was on the board of Providence Academy, where the women were complaining that how come women are not on the board? How come we can't be like the public schools and all that? I'm like, are you kidding me? We want to be like the other nations? And I'm talking from a Christian perspective. Now, how much more? Now, even people in Israel want to say, well, how can we have to have people we're just going to self-appoint. We're just going to start off. I'm going to start me a community and do my own thing and just see. But no one wants to submit.
Or
People
even the
don't want
fact
to
that
submit.
people don't want to do community.
They don't even want to do community. They
Now,
just
where
want to do their own
they
thing.
learn that from?
The world, the other nations. So let's keep reading. So look, it says right here. And it says, he says, nay. He says that, this is what they said. They says, nay, but we will have a king over us, that we also may be like all the nations. Do you hear this? They want to be like the nations. And that our king may judge us and go out before us and fight our battles. Now, even within the fact that they want to do what other nation does, they still ask that, can we still have somebody to rule over it? There's safety in that. There's some safety. But they want to be like the other nations. So when they rejected Samuel, they thinking they're rejecting Samuel. And you'll think they have good reason. The man was getting old. His children acting a little rebellious, right? And you'll think Yah will say, Samuel, you see what you did? You made me look bad. You see that? Man, that's why they're rejecting, because you messed up. Your children acting like heathens and this and that. No. Let's see how Yah responds. We're about to turn on the film, and I'm gonna go back and forth, like football. So let's see how Yah responds. And Samuel heard all the words of the people, and he rehearsed them in the ears of Yah. And Yah said to Samuel, hearken unto their voice, and make them a king. And Samuel said unto the men of Israel, go, ye every man unto his city. And now, what time is that? Okay, so you can see here, but let me just make sure I see. Did I miss what he says right here? Where does it say sadden him?
Let's see.
Hold on, guys, here. I know it was talking about how they want to be like nations, but let me just say, I know it off here. So when he said that, he said, they're not rejecting you, Samuel, they're rejecting me. Now you can go back and read this, but what I was trying to emphasize in this thing is that once again, they rejected Samuel, but they still had people rule over them. So this is more about the fact they still had rulership, but it wasn't Yah's best. He said, give them what they want. And he even went on to show them and tell them this is what's going to end up happening to them. So they actually got a inferior model instead of having a superior model. We're having Yah as the king.
It's 8 verse 7.
Huh?
8 verse 7.
8 verse 7. Let's see. Okay, it's 1 Samuel chapter 8 verse 7 says, and the Lord said to Samuel, hearken unto the voice of the people, and all that they say unto thee. For they have rejected not thee, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. And according to all the works they had done. Okay, so they rejected Samuel. So you can even take this even to small men. Women. When women says, well, I don't need to listen to my husband because my husband's not following Jesus, so I'm just going to follow Jesus. So they end up rejecting their husband, and supposedly they're going to submit to Jesus. But reality, when you reject your husband, women, brides, you are rejecting Yeshua HaMashiach himself. And men, when you say, well, I don't want to follow a pastor doing that stuff, I'm just going to follow Jesus. When you reject the people that are supposed to rule over you, that Yah has anointed for these positions, you are rejecting Yah. So it's not that Pastor Dow or the elders or God or whatever, but Yah is the one that put this in place. He's the one that put this in place. So when you reject authority and being submitted to authority, you're rejecting Yah. So you can sit here and try to spiritualize this stuff and try to make it like, well, I'm being very spiritual and I'm submitted to Jesus Christ. But you don't have anybody in your ass telling you if you're doing good. We just had Pastor Dow, the chief elder, right? Mm-hmm. At Straightway Praiseland. Do you know what that does? It's like, okay, guys, Pastor Dow is coming to Straightway Praiseland. It's like, I remember when we were doing football drills and we'd be doing stuff and, sometimes you're working hard, but when the GM came by, Bow, boom. I mean, every coach is chewing you out harder. Everybody's working hard. Because now the heck, now you shouldn't be working hard because somebody's looking at you. You should be doing that anyway. But what I'm telling you, it just creates a level of accountability because we want to do what's pleasing in his sight. Because Pastor Dowd is the one that can say, man, good job, bad job. What you need to do is this. And so I love that accountability. So it was a lot of pressure, but we welcome that. But it wasn't, but because of how we are Israelites, it didn't really change. This is how we operate. So it's not like in the world where you do raise it up. Here it's like, hey, do what we do. Do what we do. So it wasn't like, oh, yeah, but it was more than like, man, it was a great honor to have our shepherd here, to give an opportunity to get an R&R, to fellowship or whatever. And we just did what we did. We didn't change. Did we change anything that we did?
I think if anything, it motivated us to do a good job in order to give Pastor Dowd a good time here because of how hard we see our shepherd work. Yeah. You know what I mean? We were motivated by that. If anything, to take it to another level, but let
me tell you something that was even beautiful. It was even beautiful because when Pastor Dowd's not here, I'm the head of this community, and even how we sit for dinner, I sit at the head of the table. My dad sits on the other side, but I sit at the head of the table, and then I have Brother David on my right, and then I have Brother Freddie on my left. And we kind of do that on purpose so everybody knows this is the head, these are the leaders, and everything. You can tell where we sit. But when Pastor Dowd showed up, who sat at the head?
Pastor Dowd.
Pastor Dowd sat at the head. Who sat at his right?
You did.
Who sat it to his left?
Me.
You see? So I said, Pastor, this is your seat, and I sat to the right of him. And guys, we are being. It's not like we kind of like man, this worked out well. No, we are very intentional in how we do the seating around here because.
Everything we do, there's order.
There's order. Even when we had the service, I usually sit in that one spot, right? Pastor Dowd asked me, "Where do you sit?" I said, "Pastor Dowd, you sitting there." We brought even a nice, comfortable chair for him to give him that. I don't even sit that way, but when Pastor comes, we're gonna make sure we give him our very best. Yes, you see what I'm saying? So people can see that I'm not just expecting you to submit to me, but they also got to see now the head of community submitting to his head. Did you not see that?
Yes, sir.
You can see a visual. Everybody can clearly tell Pastor Dowd is clearly outranks me. So guys, this is beautiful. To me, this is so beautiful. And to hear Pastor Dowd to give a report saying, hey, you guys are doing a good job up there, that means a lot. Don't that mean a lot?
Yeah.
That means a lot. And then we do a thing, hey, what can we have done better? I mean, we didn't even have much. It's like, man, we pretty dumb. I mean, we hope, there was some mix-up because we know we're going to take pictures and things of that nature.
Little things like that.
But we thought we did a pretty good job.
Yes, sir.
And Pastor Dowd just texted me and said, yes. I don't know. I didn't see the other text. But so that, guys, beauty and community. One thing I loved about playing football was the accountability. It made you a better player. Since I've been out of football, I have not worked out like that. I wish I was in that environment where I could work out because I always knew I was going to have somebody pushing me. But when it comes to the spiritual walk, being in community, man, is the way to do it. I don't think you can really be all that Yah calls you to be if you're not. I'm just telling you, this is my opinion. I don't think you can really be if you're not in the tribe, if you're not part of a community.
Yes, sir.
I can even tell the difference with my woman because she was a part of Straightway, but she really never really was in community. And even she says there's a huge difference just showing up every Shabbat, helping out, and then you can check out to your own little world. But now when you're in community, she said, man, there's people on her ass, and everything revolves around the community. Ask not what your community can do for you. Ask what you can do for your community.
You didn't do it in your accent.
Okay, let me do it in accent. Ask not what your community can do for you, but ask what you can do for your community. Okay, that's my little Johnny kid. Ask not what you. So anyway, that's how it should roll. So let me keep on reading here. So what did I read there? What did I read?
I'm going to read Ephesians.
Okay, now go to Ephesians chapter 4. You read that.
Yes, sir. Ephesians 4:11. It says, and he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints.
Guys, listen, for the perfecting of the saints. So why am I'm thinking, okay, Pastor Dowd's coming here. He's going to see how we operate. We can't fake it. This is not something, can you imagine if like the king came back, and I'm going to get to this stuff too, but what made this, it was like, it put us in the environment. This is like a laboratory, people. This is like walk through for the kingdom of heaven.
Come on.
Think about this. All of us is going to be judged on how we did stuff. But we got to do a practice, a run through. Pastor Dow's not the King of Kings. But it was like the king was coming. Yeah. And we wanted to be found prepared. We didn't want to, like, it wasn't like I had to get my community ready. Like, oh, guys, let's clean up everything. No. Let's get the house cleaned up. Let's act like we've been doing this stuff. No. We didn't have to do that. We do what we do. This is how we roll. He was going to see the good, the bad. This is how we did. Now, we did some special stuff just to welcome Pat, but this is how we treat our guests, and there's no dip. This is how we roll. It wasn't panic. It's just how we roll. And if it wasn't good enough, we will make the correction.
Come on.
So that's what I love about this lifestyle. And I'm a wealthy man that can do this. I can live by myself. But I love this. I love being with the people of Yah. I love the children of Yah because I'm one of them. So anyway, keep reading.
Yes, sir.
All the way to 13.
For the perfecting of the saints.
For the perfecting of the saints. Keep reading.
For the work of the ministry. For the edifying of the body of Hamashiach, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of Elohim, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Mashiach, that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
So, guys, this way of lifestyle helps you. I really encourage, if you truly are born again and you truly believe Jesus Christ is your master and your savior, man, this is it. Now, I know community is not for everyone. If you're not his, it's not for you. But and if you're not in community, you should be doing everything in your power to be found faithful so that somebody can say, hey, I want you to be a part of my community, because I don't want just anybody in my community. I want to make sure that the people are going to be faithful. That's why you got to know those who you labor up. This is a family. I got to take care of the people in my, even Pastor Dale said, hey, just wanted to see what's our capacity, who can be here or whatever.
You even had a situation where someone who used to come here said, hey, can I just show up?
Oh, yeah. I said, bro.
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah. He was thinking like he could just come and go as he pleased. Bro, you left. And you want to come back.
Women
he said, oh, man, I said, bro, and then we had the pastor here. No, we can meet in a neutral location so I can discern your spirit. But I'm responsible. When you used to come and go, it was just me by myself. But now I'm responsible. I have 16 people that I'm responsible for. And I don't play with their lives like that. Yep. And so I said, and so he took offense. Hey, that's a personal problem. You can be offended all day. I got to answer to the Most High. Go to Hebrews chapter 13:7. So guys, all these people, camps, I hear it so many times when people try to do their own thing, even when people leave. Well, how come we have to go to Pastor Dow? How come can't we just do our own thing? Or is there somebody, do whatever. This is the ministry that I don't know anybody that's doing what Straightway Truth is doing. How are they doing it? So read Hebrews chapter 13, verse 7, and then go to 17 after that. But read.
Yes, sir. Hebrews 13:7. Remember them which have the rule over you.
Remember them that have rule over you. See, once again, we always had somebody ruling over us. Go.
Who have spoken unto you the word of Elohim, whose faith follow, considering the end of their conversation.
Consider the end of their conversation, their lifestyle. Can't you guys see how I live my life? Pastor Dow's considering my the ends of my conversation. So keep reading. Is that the end of that?
Verse 7.
Okay, go to verse 17.
Obey them that have the rule over you.
Obey them. What do we say? Submit or quit. So we have a place here where we obey one another or submit to one another. I'm submitted to the grand scheme of Straightway. They're submitted to me and how we do here at Straightway Praise Land. We work as one. Anybody that can come here can sense that. Keep reading.
And submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief.
I have a beautiful community. I lead this community, and I don't have to. They don't give me grief. Now, we have had some people that gave me grief. I'm not going to lie. They can do it. But the community I have now, the people I have, no grief at all. It's an honor and a privilege to serve as the head of this community at Straightway Praise Land with the people I have. And as it continues to grow, we may have people that give us grief.
we have
But
our- we
we
have
have
our-
our ups and downs, guys.
our
It's not just,
discussions
we have our
and debates or
discussions
whatever.
and so guys. But I'm just telling you, this is a beautiful. This is a very beautiful thing. Keep going. Is that it? Is that all 17?
And not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. And that's it.
That's it. So, guys, we're going to be held. It doesn't say anything about being accountable. He says, for they read verse 17.
Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourself, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account.
I have to give an account of the people that is under my authority. And it's 16, not 1,000, not 100, just about 16 people, under 20. So I have to give an account. Pastor Dow has to give an account, which he has a greater responsibility. All the heads of community have to give an account. Pastors, like Pastor Court, have to give an account. So guys, don't think that being the head is always cracked up. It's work. It's much is given, much is required. Do you guys hear me? We are responsible for souls. Keep reading. Go to 1 Thessalonians. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12 to 13. Read.
Verse 13.
Yeah, verse 12 to 13. Verse 12 to 13. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 12 to 13.
And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you, and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you, and to esteem them very highly, in love for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourselves.
Yes, so you hear the guys. So basically, you got there again. Obey those who is over you. Go to 2 Thessalonians 3, 14, 15. We're just going to kind of rapid fire through the stuff. I'm going to go through the Luke here. Luke chapter 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 14 to 15.
And if any man obey not our word,
Listen to this, guys. This is New Testament. Obey not thy word. Go. Of the epistles. Go.
by this epistle, note that man and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed.
Listen to this. So this guy, and I'm not going to say his name, but this guy came and wanted just to come walk through. He wanted to come and say, hey, Kabir, this is me. Oh, man. So man, you left. What did it say? Read that again. He says,
and if any man obey not our word by this epistle.
by this epistle, Pastor Dow has set up a system that's according to the word, to the epistle, to the laws, the commandments, the statutes of Yah. And if you're not going to obey this stuff, what does it say not to do?
Note that man and have no company with him.
Note that man and have no company with that man. To shame him. Did it say that? That's not Christian-like. You can't be that. Guys, all grace, come on, we forgive you and all that stuff. But to shame him. Read, what does it say?
That he may be ashamed.
Keep reading.
Yet count him not as an enemy,
Don't count him as an enemy, which I talked to him. Go.
but admonish him as a brother.
Admonish him as a brother. He left. He left. I didn't leave. You left. Well, I didn't leave you, Kabir. I just left Pastor Dow because I don't agree with him. Well, if you disagree with my pastor, you disagree with me. You can't say, I love you, but I hate pastor. If you hate pastor, you hate me. If you love pastor, you love me. Mm-hmm. Is that how that works? I mean, how
It doesn't even work in a community
It doesn't even work.
environment.
I mean, how does that work? How can you say, hey, Brother Dave, somebody can't say, Kabir, I don't like Kabir, but I like you.
That doesn't make any
That
sense.
doesn't make sense. Like I said, hey, Brother David, I like you, but I don't like your wife. How would that even going down
Even
the
the
other way?
other way.
Even the other way. That's like saying, Kabir, I like you, but I don't like David.
Even more shameful. You like my wife, but you don't like me.
I mean, if you reject David, you rejected me, and you even rejected Pastor Dow.
Because that's the order that's
It's
set
the
up.
order. So, guys, this is all biblical. What people may call Pastor Dow a cult. That Pastor Dow just controlling, or how come people can't vote? How come people can't have a say? Well, if you have a problem and how we are doing it here at Straightway Truths, then you have a problem with the word. Everything I'm showing you is right here. That's why I'm telling you scriptures. You go read it. I'm sitting here reading this stuff, and it just blows my mind away. Every time I'm part of doing this book, I'm saying that I am literally walking the word out in my life. Never experienced this in all the 16 years that I was in Christianity. I can honestly look at this and say, yep, this is what we do. Wow. But in Christianity, I used to read and say, wow, why don't we do this? Man, this is New Testament. How come we don't do it? How come women don't wear a haircut? Why? Now I can actually read the word and say, this is what we're doing. So did you finish reading that?
Yes, sir.
Go to 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 17 to 19. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 17 to 19. Read.
Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor.
Uh-oh. Are we worshiping Pastor Dow? What did it say? What did it say?
Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor.
I hope Pastor Dow felt like he was doubly honored when he came here. Did we? He even got more honor than I did, right? Because he ruled. I wanted to show. I wanted to be even different from me. Everybody knows how I'm treated. I wanted to even be a little bit more special than what I get. Did I sit in the same seat that Pastor Dow sit in when we got the seat? No. I just wanted to just make it a little differentiation that this is Pastor Dow who outranks me, and I'm honored to serve the Most High, and I'm honored to be that Pastor Dow is our pastor, our shepherd, right?
Yes, sir.
So double honor. Double. That was my way to show him double honor. I didn't want it to be equal. I wanted it to be double honor. I decreased so that he could increase. Did I not?
Yes, sir.
Did I not show decrease? I decreased so that he could increase. I got to even practice that. Didn't John the Baptist do that too? Yeah. It's kind of cool when you can practice, but when you're in Christianity in the world, you don't get to practice that. Everybody's all equal. Everybody's just grace. There's no expertise. You see what I'm saying? Keep reading.
For the scripture saith, thou shalt not muzzle.
What is it? The scripture says it? Is that not the law of the prophets?
Yes, sir.
But keep reading.
Thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn. And the laborer is worthy of his reward.
Is Pastor Dow not worthy of that type of honor for all
sir.
that he does? You know how hard he labors for this ministry? How he labors for the Most High? I mean, he is worthy. I am the man I am today, and the things that I'm doing is because of that man. I thank him. And so I wanted to give, it was an honor. It was like entreating a father. So anyway, is that it?
Verse 19.
Keep reading.
Against an elder receive not an accusation, but before 2 or 3 witnesses.
So now go to Luke 19. Now actually go to Matthew, because you can go to Matthew. You go to Matthew 24, but let me read Luke. So guys, I'm going to Luke chapter 12, verse 42. I'm almost wrapping up. I appreciate you guys. How many people we have online? I just always see 20. Huh?
75.
Okay. It says this, and the Lord said, who then is that faithful and wise steward? Guys, I'm telling you, we are in a situation where, like, the kingdom of heaven is like this. I'm going to show you here. He says, and the Lord says, who then is faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season? Blessed is that servant. Isn't it amazing he calls them servant? Every one of us are servants. It says, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he had. Let me make sure I'm not going. Okay, he had. But if now this is about ruler. And if that servant says in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming. In his heart, he says in his heart, my Lord delayed in his coming, shall I begin to beat the men servants and the maidens, and to eat and to drink and to be drunken. Do I do that to you guys?
No.
Do I beat you? Now, if you guys want to know what it looks like to be lording, this is a good example of what lording looks like. We don't do that at Straightway. We don't beat and abuse the people that's in the community. We don't do that. And look what it says, and the Lord of that servant will come in that day, and he will look not for him and that hour, and when he's not aware, he will cut him in sunder and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers. So guys, if I'm abusing these people, Pastor Dow's abusing these people, do you understand the what will happen to the people who's in authority and in rulership? And if they're abusing, man, there's a great responsibility. All right, let me go to Luke 19. Luke 19.
And Matthew 24 is it's the same exact story as you just read in Luke.
Okay, but it's a different aspect I want you to read it. So go read that. Well, I want to show something. Let me read. Okay, read that. Read Matthew 24, 20. Just read it, guys. There's nothing wrong with reading the word.
45?
45 to 46. 19.
Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not aware of, and shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites.
So guys, once again, it's just showing again, being prepared. Everything we do, how you do anything is how you do everything. How you do anything is how you do everything. If you're not faithful in the little things, you're not going to be faithful in things. That's why you always hear me end on the show. Be faithful in the little things. You will be judged on how you do those things. And so don't look at how you do the things that are minutia. That is small matters. Because how you do small matters is how you're going to do the big things. I've seen it. I've seen it in a woman that was married for 16 years. She wasn't faithful in the little things. And when the big things show, you would think like, okay, this is a big deal. She did the same thing she did with the little things with the big deal. You see what I'm saying? So guys, I've seen this. And I was always faithful in the little things. And I was found to be faithful by the grace of the Most High when the big things showed up. I responded exactly what I was doing with the little things. So I'm telling you, like, do you remember Lot's wife? What did she do? I can tell you what she was doing now. She was always looking back. She was a part of the world. And when Yah said not to look back, what did she do? She looked back. Yep. So guys, I'm telling you, do not look down on those little things you do. And if somebody tell you take out the trash, you take out the trash. You do all these, whatever that little thing is, you do it faithfully as if you're doing it for Jesus Christ. It's that simple. So when you're doing community, you have an opportunity to live this thing out. Let me read Luke chapter 19, verse 15. Start there. And it says, and it came to pass. It says, it came to pass that when he had returned, having received the kingdom, he commanded these servants to be called unto him, to whom he had given the money, and that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Then it came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound had gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, well done, good servant, because thou hast been faithful in the very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. Do you see what's going to happen? So how you do here on earth, no matter what your position is, you could be just a brother. You could be a brother who's a community. You could be an elder. You could be a deacon. You can be a teacher. You could be a pastor. You could be the chief elder. All of us is going to be judged according to our roles. You could be a son. You could be a father. You could be a husband. You could be a wife. You could be a child. All of us is going to be judged, and how we do whatever Yah has given us is going to determine how life is going to look like if we are chosen to be into the kingdom of heaven. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? This making sense?
Yes, sir.
And he says, and the second came to him, saying, Lord, thy pound had gained 5 pounds. And he said likewise to him, be thou over 5 cities. See, look at he didn't get as much as the guy that had 10 pounds, but he said, because you were faithful with the 5, I'm going to give you 5 cities. And another came to him and said, Lord, here is thy pound, which I have kept and laid up in a napkin. For I fear thee, because thou hast an usurer man, and thou hast taken thou layest not down, and reapest thou that thou didst not sow. And he said unto him, out of thy own mouth will I judge thee, thou wicked servant. This guy didn't even lose the money. All he did is took the money that he gave him, put it in there, hid it, and he's back. Here's your money. You would think like, okay, at least he played it safe. He didn't put it in the market. And guess what Yah says? You wicked. Look what he says. Thou wicked servant. Thou knewest that I have austere man taken up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore thou gavest thou my money into a bank. He said you could at least put it in a bank, that my coming, that I might require my own with usury or interest. And he said unto them that stood by, take him the pound, and give it to him that had 10 pounds. Isn't it amazing he didn't give it to the guy that had 5? So okay, I want to show equality. Let me give it to the guy who had 5 pounds. No, he gave it to the guy that had the greatest, who made more. Because if he could turn 5 into 10 or whatever, how much more? So he can give the guy and give it to him. So guys, this is not a democracy. Yah's always expect us to rule. And let me read this last one. Turn with me to Matthew chapter 25. And I want to start at verse 14. This is going to be a long one. Can you read that? And I'm going to stop you
sir.
at different.
14.
Yeah. Chapter 25, starting at verse 14.
Okay. For the kingdom.
Hold on. Let me get there too, because I want to stop you at different places.
Okay.
Are you guys? Give me a 7 if you guys are enjoying this stuff here.
If these guys are still engaged, let's see.
You guys still engaged? I know there's a lot more reading, but guys, this is the word. I just want you guys to see this. 25 verse 20. We're almost done here.
Verse 14.
Verse 4. Did I say 20? All right. That's it. Everybody's engaged. Verse 25. Guys, I'm using the old school. This is what Pastor Dow actually encourages us to do this. To use the Bible. Okay, start at verse 14. Read. Now listen to this. Read.
For the kingdom of heaven is as
Guys, listen to this. I'm not making this thing up. This community stuff is biblical, but it's preparing us for the kingdom. It is literally prepared. It says the kingdom of heaven is like or as. You're going to see it right there. The kingdom of heaven is as. This is in Luke. If you guys don't know, Matthew chapter 25, verse 14. Read.
For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his servile ability.
Listen, according to his servile ability. Not everybody can be a head of community. Not everybody can be second community. That's why there's going to be people who's going to be ruling over other people according to the abilities that y'all get. All the abilities I have came from Yah. And I sharpen it and master it to become better. Maybe I'll just only be a community and that'll be it. Maybe, who knows? But it doesn't matter. But we all have ability. But the key is not to be covetous or say, well, how come I can't be like Pastor Dow? How come I can't be like Elder Rufus or Elder Beggar? Instead, just be the best you can be.
Yes, sir.
You take whatever they is giving you and you be faithful. If your job is just to do work in the garden or pick up cow shit, you make sure you pick it up in such a way like, dang. Like, man, they can't help but to promote you the way you pick up and to give you more stuff. Just be faithful. I think of Deacon Bale. I mean, that man has been part of that ministry for over 20 years. Deacon Bale, man, and that man is faithful. And he goes in there and doesn't even, bro, I'm just telling you, this ministry is just off the freaking chain. That's just, I just never been a part of it. The last time I experienced anything well, I can't even put it, but in the world, because I didn't experience this in Christianity. The thing I experienced close to straightway, I repeat, close, was being on a football team. I didn't experience this in Christianity. I experienced this oneness mentality for a common goal is being part of a football team. And now I get to experience the ultimate, they say in football, but the Mecca, but I don't want to use that word. But this is like the top. I'm experiencing this on a spiritual level here at Straightway. This is like maybe I'm using Straightway. Straightway it's like being a part of Straightway. You know what I'm saying? The Straightway of football. You know what I'm saying? So guys, I'm telling you, this community is off what Pastor Dow and his faithfulness and what he's done. And you guys can say, people can say I'm worshiping him, but man, you got to give credit where credit is due. This man was doing this when no one else was doing. He had no example but the word. He just took this and put it into action. And I got to be a part of it 20 years later. Thank God I didn't have to do what Pastor Dow did. But I'm going to try to build off of what he's doing. I don't have to reinvent the wheel. I got he's right here alive doing it. So anyway, keep on reading. Sorry.
And straightway took his journey.
Wow, it says straightway took his journey. Okay, sorry. No pun intended here. Go.
Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that had received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money. After a long time the Lord of those servants cometh and reckoneth with them.
So guys, it's going to be like that. He's going to come and reckon to see what have you done with what you have been given. Okay, I gave you 10 because you had the talent to take care of 10. I gave you 5 because you had the talent to take care of 5. And I gave you 1 because you had the talent to take care of 1. What did you do with the things I've given you? Keep reading.
And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliveredest unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant.
God, that's all I want to hear. Those are music to my ears. And I'm going to tell you right now, when I was in Christianity for 16 years, I that's all I wanted to hear. But I never knew if I was doing right. I did not have the assurance that I was truly saved. I should have, but I always wondered, like, man, am I doing this right? I'm thinking, like, man, I'm not gonna find this out until I meet the Most High. And thank Yah, 2 years ago I had a dream, and He says, you don't love me. Can you imagine if I was dead and to find out I wasn't keeping the commandments of Yah and that I was worshiping Him in vain? Because I was in a religion, an environment that was practicing lawlessness. They didn't practice anything close to this stuff. Can you imagine that? And then He was so gracious that He opened my eyes and took the scales of my eyes and pointed me to Straightway Truth Ministry, Pastor Dow. And I can't tell you how many people tried to discourage me. I had to lose a wife. I had to lose children. I had to lose money. I had to lose so much. I had to lose fame. I had to lose my credibility, my reputation. I mean, man, I lost a lot to be in this truth. You didn't have to beg me. I had to fight to be in this truth. And damn it, I'm staying. I'm not leaving. This is it. I have found the treasure. I feel like the man who found the land and he found gold and like, whoa, covered it back up, went, sold everything he had so he can buy that land. Straightway Truth is a treasure. It's a gold. I mean, I hit the mother lode. And now when I walk this walk, I really, really believe that now I know I'm going to hear it. Why? I got to practice it. Pastor Dow came in here, seeing how the people are and everything, seeing how we run things. He said, man, you're doing a good job. Woo! If Pastor can say that for me, how much more maybe Yah would say the same thing for me and says, good and faithful servant. Brother David, he knows when he does stuff and I tell him, good job. He says, wow, man, if Kabir thinks I'm doing a good job, how much more will Yah say, good and faithful servant? I have a woman. I can tell her, good and faithful job. I said, good job. She now, I mean, you can keep going down. Women, if your husband is not, I'll even digress a little. If your man is not saying good and faithful woman, man, there's a good chance Yah is not going to say good and faithful servant. You're going to be sent straight to the pit of hell, gnashing of teeth. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? We all are brides. We all get to, I'm a bride. I'm a man under authority. I'm a man of authority. So I got to be, David, aren't you a man of authority?
Yes, sir.
He's a man of authority. Are you a man under authority?
Yes, sir.
He's a man under authority. And so everybody gets to be, even Sister Evelyn. Is Sister Evelyn your wife? Is she a person of authority?
She is.
And is she a person under authority?
She is.
She has children. Do you guys see what I'm saying? Guys, it's simple. I'm not saying, it's not rocket science. You just got to have eyes to see and ears to hear. And blessed if you can hear what I'm saying and you're being blessed by this stuff. Blessed are your ears and blessed are your eyes that you can hear and see this thing. So, guys, it's simple. Keep reading.
Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the master.
Man, guys, I'm telling you, if I can get this thing right, and I go right now, I know that man, y'all say, man, Kabir, you was faithful with Praise Land. I mean, your pastor even told you. I mean, and I try to do this, right. I mean, even the people in the community can say, okay, this guy's serving well. You can tell if you have a good ruler, right, and a bad ruler. Oh, yeah. Even they say everybody praise, yeah, woo, we got a good ruler. And then when everybody drill like, oh, we got a bad ruler. But guys, I want to rule well. I want to rule well. I want to be responsible for whatever God's given me. I want to be a faithful brother. I want to be a faithful community head. I want to be submitted to authority. I want to be faithful to those who are under me. We're serving one another. I want to make sure that the people in my community are taken care of. I don't want them to say, man, Kabir's not feeding us. Man, Kabir is shit. I mean, he just drinking, getting fat, and we're skinny here. He just have us running around here.
We don't have that issue.
We don't have our needs met. You see what I'm saying? I want to make sure that don't I make sure you guys have more than your needs? I mean, I try to make sure they have. I try to make sure they're taken care of.
We lack nothing.
Yeah. So anyway, keep reading. Sorry. Where are you? What verse are you on?
22.
Okay, keep reading. We're almost done, guys.
He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Master, thou deliveredst unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His master said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy master.
You guys hear this? Enter the joy. This is what we all should be shooting for. So I don't care what your role is. Either you're going to submit or quit. So whatever your role is, be faithful. Whatever you do with anything is how you do everything. If you're unfaithful with a penny, you're going to be unfaithful with millions of dollars. I'm a financial advisor. I can tell you that right now. People in the league, I can't tell you how many people come from broke, from the hood or whatever, made all this money and have this poor man mentality, and they come into the league within 2 or 3 years of leaving the game, they're broke. Millions of dollars. T.O. Warren Sapp. These are people that was my contemporary people. I played with 80% of guys that play in the league that once leaving the game are broke. But what? That's what they did with the penny. I can tell you. Matter of fact, I remember a woman at San Diego State told me this stuff. She says, I can usually tell you, this is the one that gave out our scholarship checks, our Pell Grants or whatever. She can say, I can always tell you those who end up going to the league, I can tell you if they're going to be good with their money or bad. I said, how do you know? Because the one that always came early before the checks came out. Say, man, can I get my check a week early? Can I get my check, I need some money now to pay some bills. I was not that guy. I can still go. If even the checks were a month late, my bills was going to get paid. I remember one time when September 11th happened, the September 11th, and we had to, we get paid every 2 weeks, right? But you have to play a game. Well, they had to cancel that week. All games got canceled that week.
Of course.
But we still practiced, but all games got canceled because it happened on a Tuesday. We came in on a Wednesday, first day, and they told us that they're canceling the game that week and they're going to push it back to the end of the season.
Wow.
Let me tell you, I was a rookie. Guys, are you listening to this? Jenny Titus, are you here? You want to hear this story? If Jenny's still with me, let me know. But listen to this story, guys. This is September 11 when we had the attack on this land. I was a rookie on practice squad. I wasn't even on the 54-man roster. I was just a practice squad. And I got to tell you, this literally blew my mind away. When they canceled that week, that means guys weren't going to get paid that week too for that game because they're going to delay it 1 week. Bro, 1 freaking week. Guys, that locker room freaking went crazy when that word got out. What? I got bills to pay. I'm talking about starters.
Wow.
Guys that I will look up. I got bills to pay. Where's my check? I'm like, are you guys out of your... I'm like, are these people out of their freaking mind? Look, okay, guys.
Wow.
I was getting paid $4,000 a week. I was getting paid $4,000 a week. Let me see. Was it $4,000 a week just to be a practice squad. To me, I'm thinking, woo! These guys are getting paid. Okay. Let me do the math. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta do the math. Let me just do an average salary, okay? The board. Okay. No, I can't do the board.
Okay.
But let me just. I gotta do these calculations. Okay. I think I was getting paid just to be on practice squad. I was getting paid $60,000 that year, but you get it within the season. So let me make sure it's $60,000. I'm gonna make sure, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I like to do this math. This is 16. So yeah, I was getting about $4,000 a week, right? About $4,000 a week. I got bills. I gotta pay rent. I gotta do things, right? Now we talking about. Let's just do a simple, nice salary. I think the league minimum, just league minimum, just league minimum was about $250,000 that year. A season. Mm-hmm. Is that a lot of money? Maybe that's not a lot of money. Is that a lot of money? And you getting that in a period of 16 weeks. 16 weeks. So $250,000 was league minimum. That means if you were on the team, you were getting a minimum of $250,000 that season.
Come on.
Just minimum. Now it's gone up, so don't go off. I'm just going off of old minimum. So let me divide that by 16 weeks. That comes out to be $15,000 a week. And you got paid every 2 weeks. So times that by 2. That's $31,000.
They were complaining.
God I'm sorry, guys. You have to understand, guys. You have to understand. It blew my mind away. I was getting paid $8,000 every 2 weeks, and I was pretty happy. And these guys, these starters, was up there, literally was about to do a riot.
That's the average.
Say, I got bills to pay. I got to put food on the table. I'm
That's
thinking
the
like
average a person makes a year.
$31,000 was league minimum every 2 weeks.
Wow.
And they were tripping because they had to cancel that week's game and move it back 1 week. It wasn't like they were going to get the money. They were just going to delay it 1 week. Are you telling me if you can call that type of havoc? Bro, I digress so far of here. Let me calm down. But anyway, keep reading. I'm just trying to let you guys know, if you're not faithful in the little things, you're not going to be faithful in the big things. That's why these guys was tripping of missing a check. And that means they were going to get half because they're only missing 1 week. So they still going to get $15,000. They just wasn't going to get the other 15 to make it $30,000 the following week. You guys hear what I'm saying? So what you do with everything is what you do with anything is how you do with everything.
Yes, sir.
If you're unfaithful with anything, you're going to be unfaithful with everything. And community will call you out in that because you can't hide. Because people are going to realize how lazy you are. And if you're a hard worker, you can't hide in community. Right. You can't. I don't care if you're the leader, all the way down, you're going to be tailed. Keep going.
Then he which had received the 1 talent.
One talent. Let's see how he handles it.
Came and said, Master, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. His master answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant.
Woo, wicked and slothful. Keep going.
Thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers. And then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which hath 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Guys, if you are an unprofitable member of a community or a part of the straightway, anybody, if you're just unprofitable, you're gonna be. This is what it says. You're gonna be thrown into outer darkness. If you are an unprofitable wife, you're gonna be what? You're gonna be thrown into outer darkness, gnashing of teeth. If you are an unprofitable brother, unprofitable whatever. Guys, we all are going to be judged on how we handle this stuff. Don't take this thing lightly. And those who rule over you, make their job easy. I don't want Pastor Dow to have to rebuke or I want to make his job. He already has a hard enough job. I want to make it easy, relax. I just want him to always, when he thinks of me, I want it to be pleasant. I want it to be a blessing. I want to be profitable to Pastor Dow. That's who I asked you, Brother David, he wants to be profitable to me.
Yes, sir.
His wife wants to be profitable to him. My wife wants to be profitable to him. That's the attitude we should all be having. And when you have that mentality, you have a community with one accord, one heart, single heart, singleness of heart. Guys, that is how a team is formed. One team. The team that knows how to work well together in unity, in unison, or just united, is the one that's going to win.
Come on.
So, guys, I just went through the Old Testament, New Testament to show you how this thing works. And so when people complain about how we do things or how Pastor Dow I got this set up, then you don't have a problem with Pastor Dow. You have a problem with Yah. And just where you guys act like Pastor Dow is Yah. No, yes, what? No, he's not Yah. But what he is doing, he's doing what these letters are saying in the epistles, and he says anyone that doesn't do it, you disassociate yourself with them. So, guys, I hope this really brought some clarity of why we do community, and so I wanted to really use this time to understand this is why we have the structure we have. Everything we do is based off of this word. And so when you understand, well, how come he gets to lead? Well, if you're an able man and you're wise and you're not covetous and you have some of the things. So, and guess what? I didn't choose. Did I choose this spot again? I just want to make sure.
No.
I didn't choose.
I didn't choose it either.
And so even the people here, if you don't like the problem, like if you don't like how I do things, you have a problem with Pastor Dow. Right. And if you don't like how Pastor Dow chooses his leader, then you have a problem with you have a problem with Yah. And that's why we don't hold people by the hand. So, guys, I hope you understand this is not America. We don't do things like a world. We are in the world, but not of the world. We don't do things. We have our own laws and statutes and commandments. And that's Yah's commandments. And Yah's commandments and his laws, his statutes always trumps man's law. Mm-hmm. So people say, well, aren't you supposed to obey the law of the land? Hell no, if it goes against the law of Yah. We obey it as long as it's good. But once it goes outside, once you start contradicting the law of Yah, we will choose the law of Yah over the law of man any time of the day. So anyway, I don't know if you guys have any questions. We're going to wrap this thing up. But that's all I have for you, folks. That's all, folks. But anyway,
That's all, folks.
I hope this was edifying. It stimulated thought. It kind of brought more clarity why we do things we're doing. So all these people that always say, well, why you got to have somebody? How come we got to answer? How come we can't just do our own thing? Or I answer to Jesus. Okay, go ahead and answer to Jesus. I'm talking about men. These are men that's saying that stuff. And obviously it's clear when a woman said it because the head of every woman is man. And the head of every man is Jesus. But even within Jesus' order, even in the New Testament and in the Old Testament, you can always see they always put able men over tens, thousands, hundreds. So anyway.
Well, let's take a quick break before we do our closing.
See if there's any questions.
Guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them down, and we shall be right back.
Okay, let's wrap it up if there's no questions here. Somebody says, so should I fight for my son in court? Oh, that's a good one.
You want to do it?
Yeah, let me see. Are we on?
Yeah, we're on.
All right, guys, we're back. So we're going to wrap this up. We see we have some questions here. Let me see. I got a question from Brother Lamar. Should I fight for my son in court since the wife decided to remain in the world? Well, Brother Lamar, all I can tell you is that in the Bible, in Ezekiel, I think it's Ezekiel, right? Chapter 10. It talks about how the people of God pretty much gave up their strange wives and their children so they can be committed to the Most High.
Ecclesiastes.
Ecclesiastes. You know, it's not Ecclesiastes.
Or
it's
is it Judges?
It's Ezra. I think it's Ezekiel.
Ezra.
Is it Ezra?
Ezra 10.
Ezra 10. And Ezra, is it right here? Okay, in Ezra 10. Can you read that? This, if you can find that. Ezra 10. But yeah, so I know I didn't do that, but that's part of the system to keep you busy. I talked to a guy that fought for his children, and literally that dude says that he spends 14 days preparing, or he spends 12 days or 14 days preparing for 2 days just to get 2 days, and it's just completely distracting. So it is what it is. The system is set up for the woman, and is to keep taking your money, and it's to take your time. And so you're not frugal. If I actually fought for my wife and my children or whatever, I wouldn't be doing this show. I would be so busy. I'd probably have what they call visitation. You know what I'm saying? I'd be running around and wouldn't even have time to do it. I'm doing so much more. But God has given me brothers and sisters. Everything that I lost, I got it back double fold already. I got more brothers than I had when I was with my natural family. I got more sisters. I got more nephews and nieces. I mean, my dad is being taken care of. I got me a new woman now. I mean, guys, so all I can tell you is when Yah says that whatever you lose in this lifetime, you will get it back 100-fold in this lifetime and the next, it's true.
This is Ezra chapter 10, verse 3.
Ezra chapter 10, verse 3. Read.
Now therefore let us make a covenant with our Elohim to put away all the wives and such as are born of them according to the counsel of my master, and of those that tremble at the commandment of our Elohim, and let it be done according to the law.
So that you give the strange. You saw that?
Yep.
Okay, and you read all the way from 1 to 10, but you're going to see that these guys did it in the Old Testament. I even thought about even when Solomon was the king, and they were trying to figure out who the baby belonged to between the two women. And the real mom says, no, let her have it. The other one says, no, cut the baby up and let's divide the baby. And the real mom said, no, let her have it. And so that's what I decided to do. All I can tell you what I did. I decided to allow my ex-wife to have my children because I didn't want it to cut up my children emotionally or spiritually and give them a fighting chance if they're ever called not to, because the Bible says a man that's divided, a double-minded is unstable in all his ways. So I wanted to give my children a fighting chance so they can be at least one-minded. If they all hate me, I'd rather they all hate me or love me. But I didn't want them to have to love mommy and love daddy. So if they hate me, at least they can hate me, but maybe when they come to the truth, you realize like, oh, I see what dad was trying to do. And then they can now be single-minded when they do come out of it. But if they don't come out of it, then they just don't come out of it. But if they do come out of it, at least they was always in the situation where they were always one heart, one soul. So they're one accord with their mom. And so mom hates me, that means they're gonna hate me. And clearly they don't love me because they don't keep my commandments. And mom doesn't keep my commandments, so she hates me. So right now they all hate me. And maybe one day, as I used to hate Yahweh and Jesus Christ by not keeping his commandments, and then I got to repent, and now I love him and hate the things of the natural family. So anyway, I hope I answered your question. Somebody asked about wearing shorts in soccer. I would say talk to your head, but the way to get around that, you probably can wear some type of long pants. But talk to the person that's in your area. If you're part of Straightway, talk to your leadership there and see what they say. They can give you more direction.
Yes, sir.
Is that it?
That's pretty much it.
Talk to the person that's in your assembly, whoever that person is. That person, because that's really what's important. Because I don't know. Obviously you're not a part of this one. There'll be things I probably want, but I don't want to cause confusion. So whatever that person wants, if you are part of Straightway and you consider yourself part of Straightway, then you should have somebody that's ruling over the assembly or the community or the homestead or whatever. So I highly recommend you go to that person. Is there anything? My ex-wife, I can't pronounce it. Judah Yakande. Guys, forgive me. My English, my language is off anyway. But anyway, it says my ex-wife also didn't agree with me coming into this truth, and now she is with a pastor. Yep. Wow. Guys, that doesn't surprise me. And it probably was a Christian pastor. Yep, I think that's what you meant. But that doesn't surprise me. That's Christianity 101. So that's how they're going to. Brother Kabir, is it okay? No. And then another person says, thank you, Brother KGB. Okay, yep, the person with the soccer said, good job. So if there's not any more questions, very edifying message, Brother. Okay. Thank you, Lucas Carter. Shalom.
Hallelujah. All
right, guys. Well, it seems like there's not a lot of questions. I hope, and I know I was trying to be very thorough in this stuff. Wanted you guys to see what we're doing here, and I believe everything is in line with what we're doing here at Straightway, what Pastor Dow is doing, led by Pastor Dow. I am just a reflection his apostleship, the seal of his apostleship. And like I said, it's just good to go through this walkthrough in life, or just to get to practice what it's like to live in the kingdom, And Pastor Dow is creating an environment that we can literally say we are preparing ourselves for the King, and the King is coming. And I'm telling you, all these people in Christianity, or people that's in the Hebrew Israelite communities, or just in the Hebrew, when I say Hebrew community, but the people that identify themselves as Hebrew Israelites that are living in the city, that's not living in a community, they're not prepared. They're going to be like those 5 virgins. There's 10 virgins. 5 of them were prepared. The other 5 wasn't prepared. And when the King came, they wanted to go. What did they want to do? They all ran to people. Hey, you guys are doing community. Bro, hey, we don't know you. We never labored amongst you. And now they want to come in. Go get your own oil thing. Then what they do? Because they knew he was coming. So they went to go to the store and try to get their oil lamp and everything. And then what happened? By the time they got there, it was too late. And what did he close the door? He says, I never knew you. Get away from me, you workers of iniquity. And so, guys, this is how we prepare. And that's in everything. Prepping for disasters, doing stuff. So, guys, we should be, as the day continues to get closer to the end and getting darker, we need to prepare ourselves in every way. And community is just a beginning and just one of many aspects, but it's a good start. And so, and I can continue getting better. And being a part of this ministry continues to sharpen me and encourage me to continue getting better. So anyway, that's all I have for you.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you so much, Brother Kabir. Once again, Elder Brecker says you laid it down tonight. Great broadcast,
Hallelujah,
brother.
hallelujah. Thank you. See, I have an elder of straight. That's one of the chief elders at Straightway. To hear him say that makes me happy to hear that I'm doing something that's pleased, taking the time to listen to the show. Yes, I don't want to do anything that is not a straight way, and so it keeps me. So to hear that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So if elder is pleased, then that means I can only imagine what Yah is saying. Good and faithful servant. So so guys, if I didn't have an elder, and if I'm just sorry, if I'm self-appointed and thinking that I'm doing good, but then how would I know I'm doing good? And so I'm just doing my own thing. I'm just me and Jesus. Okay. I don't have anybody following me. I'm just doing my own thing, following Jesus. And the whole time I'm not even in there. So if you can't get along with the people of Yah, if you can't honor and respect those who are ruling over you, like an Elder Becker, then you're really not in the game. You're really not. So anyway, thank you, Elder. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And bless you for all your hard labor. And that's a hard-working elder right there.
Thank you, Elder Becker, for your labor of love that you give all the time. We see how he lives. We've been there on small occasions.
And we can now relate to him because we deal with our little world. He deals on a national level. So all the people that when you guys are calling in and trying to make yourself known and trying to get connected, that's the elder that's the elder that's connecting all the dots. Okay, let me call this person, let me call this community head, let me call this elder, let me call this. That's the elder right there. So this is a guy that literally who I send people back to when I say call straightway. He may be the one that you're going to be talking to. Yes, so anyway, now people are going to say, now you worshiping Elder Becker. Oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? Guys, I'm just giving where honor is due. You just got to give honor. I see what the man do. I see his labor. He's been in this game for many years. So I'm going to do it. It's not worship. The Bible actually commands. Give them double honors. So anyway.
Double honors to Elder Becker, man.
Hallelujah.
But yes, sir, great show, Brother Kabir, man. Guys, smash that like button if you guys enjoyed the show. Please help us out here. This goes far. I know it probably doesn't seem like much, but it does help the algorithm of YouTube to push the video, get the message out.
Share it.
And this message is, people need to hear this. This is some hard truth, but people really do need to wake up in this time and start getting together, and then and this is just letting them know what to expect if they do decide to do community. Like Brother Kabir said, we've seen even in Christianity they do community, right?
Mm-hmm,
and
yes.
But I think the difference of Straightway and the way that Pastor Dow has taught us to do it, there's a patriarch.
Yes.
There's patriarchal order.
This is not an egalitarian. This is not a democracy. This is not majority rules. No. Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the way that Yah set it up, and that's what's going to build a successful community. But anyway,
let me answer your question. There's somebody that says KGB. It's not any Straightway ministry yet yet, and there's no Straightway community in my area. I guarantee Gbaja-Biamila. I don't know where you're located, but if you call the number, what's it, 615 What's the number?
688.
688. Then you look at the number behind Pastor Dow, 3025, I believe. But if you call that number, make yourself known.
Can one of the saints put that
Yeah,
number?
if somebody could put straightway the dining hall number, there it is. 615-688-3025. Call that number. Make yourself known. They will get you in contact with the nearest assembly that's in your area. It may not be a community. It may just be a homestead.
You
may be too. Brother David, he used to drive 3 hours. Brother Jordan, Brother Ryan used to drive 2 hours. We have a sister. 19 years old. She literally don't even have a car. And she takes the Greyhound from Milwaukee to Green Bay that's a 2-hour trip every Shabbat. Not once a month, every Shabbat. She comes here and then leaves on Thursday, and she takes the last bus smoking on Thursday on Sunday night, 4 o'clock. That's what she does every week. If you truly want to be in this truth, you're going to do everything in your power to be a part of it, no matter how far it is. People in Africa, I know people will travel far distance to get to the truth. And so that's what I want to encourage you. So I don't know how far it may be. You're in Massachusetts, call straightway. They will let you know. I don't know that. So call that number. That's 615-688-3025. Yep. And make yourself known. And when Elder Becker, he will get you connected. He knows there's people in the East Coast. We got people in New York. We got people in Carolina. I mean, all over the place. Maryland, so I know Massachusetts is just a small state within all those other New York and all. We got people in New York. So please make yourself known, and Elder Becker will get you. Trust, I've seen that. I've seen it with my own naked eye. This man literally has a list of people that he may call. He just literally may call. They need to have a call center in there and put a whole bunch of Elder Beckers in there. But anyway, maybe Elder Becker needs to start anointing people to help him with that. But it's a small. It's really a small. There's only 30 people on the land there, and half of that is adults. So this ministry, I know it seems big, and it is big in the city. But Elder Becker's doing that stuff. So guys, make yourself known. He will get to you, and you may have to.
Don't wear out.
And I would say just keep calling until he gets a hold of you. He'll get a hold of you.
Exactly.
All right. So anyway, let me comment. But I love my elders.
Hallelujah. Well, that's pretty much it. I see people still chatting, but
remind people
the numbers going down too. So, but anyway, guys, you guys know the drill. Make sure you guys go check out the previous live show from Brother Kabir. Also, go to Spiritual Combat. Subscribe to that channel.
Yes.
Help support Brother Michael Israel. Help build the nation. And also watch Brother Kabir's last interview there with him. It's a long one, but it's well worth it. That's for sure.
I don't think it's boring. I think
definitely not boring.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yes.
It was very engaging.
Yes.
But if you guys missed it, go and check it out. We will be uploading it on his channel as well, on Brother Kabir's channel. So you guys can wait for that as well. But coming up this week, Sister to Sister, every single Thursday at 7 or 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on Sister to Sister. We got Sister Jennifer and Sister Ashley, and I think they've been switching it up. So Mother Carol's been on there a little bit more often too. So, but yeah, guys, go check that out. The Straightway Sisters page on YouTube is called Straightway Helpmeets. I repeat, Straightway Helpmeets. Go and subscribe for you sisters, for you wives, for you daughters. Go and subscribe. I believe it'll edify you and help you guys out. And they have a lot of stuff for children on there as well. So make sure you guys go check that out. Also, every Friday, Blog Talk Radio with Pastor Charles Dow Jr. He does a live show as well every single Friday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. He usually takes calls on the show. Sometimes he'll do a small teaching. But if you guys have any questions, you'd like to speak to Pastor Dow directly, have any questions, make sure you guys call during Blog Talk, and you can speak to him directly. And obviously, you understand that he has a lot of people on the calling queue. So if he doesn't get to you the day that you call, just be persistent, I guess, and just keep calling. But anyway, also we have a straightway.com. Go to straightway.com, and every single Sabbath at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, we have a live teaching from Pastor Dow normally. If he's out of town, they usually have one of the elders doing a teaching. But you guys go make sure you go check out that website and participate every single Saturday morning at 11 a.m. and watch Straightway Live for the teaching every single Sabbath. If you guys are not able to be by a computer to watch the live stream, there is another channel on Straightway or on YouTube called Straightway Live, and that is streamed every single Sabbath. It streams the teaching from Straightway, Tennessee. Other than that, that's pretty much it. We will be connected. We'll be putting some more content out there soon. Brother Kabir, closing words.
Hey, I just want to say one more thing to Brother Lamar. Lamar, just be encouraged, man, okay? Just be encouraged. I know what you're going through, losing your family, but guess what? Just like it says in Luke chapter 18, verse 29, whatever you lose, mother, father, brother, sister, wife, children, you will get it back a manifold in this lifetime. So be encouraged, brother. You welcome to the family. Welcome. It says in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 12. It says that if you choose to follow Jesus, or you will be persecuted. So this is just part of being a part of the kingdom of Yah. Just like being on the football team. When you're on the football team, if you ain't getting dirty, you ain't playing. So even people on the bench try to roll in the grass a little bit in the mud just to look like they did something, right? So anyway, but guys, once again, thank you so much for coming every week, being with me every week. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being patient in the beginning, the technical difficulty. I actually literally commanded the storm to be silent, and within the very hour it did. Like really, I can say within that hour it literally was done, and everything started working. Am I lying?
No,
I went right outside and did it. I did what Pastor Dow would do. I went out there and commanded it. I said, be silent in the name of Jesus. And damn it, it did. So anyway, so guys, thank you so much. And remember, guys, be faithful in the little things. Shalom, shalom.
It's KGB Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. We only tell the truth. Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
Do you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
Do you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way. For this truth, they really hate me. I hit them like a safety. On my way to the mountaintop, ain't no way they gon' stop me. When you live this life, you only get one shot. Time is running out, but you keep looking at the clock. But for me and my household, we're gonna be doers of the word. It's KGB Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. We only tell the truth. Live Show. We gon' set it right. Live Show. The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
Do you straight, no chaser.
The true straight way.
Straight from the scripture.
Straight way.
Do you straight, no chaser.
The true